Okay, so I'm just going to run you through this rebrand that I did. So to start this story off, I just basically kicked off by finding a website and logo that I thought was a bit weak. No reflection on this company at all, but I thought their landing page was pretty dull. Although they offer a really good service. So I looked at rebranding this one. So the starting point was to run my website skill file in Claude, and I've just put okay, run the skill for it. Maybe a black and yellow like the attach would be a good concept for a site. So as you can see, I've just given it a concept for how I want it designed. So this is a image picked up off of Pinterest, simple as that, and I've just put it in with my website skill. So the mistake I made first time round to generate such a weak landing page was basically not uploading enough photographs. As the original website contains photographs, this had to be uploaded first, and so then we moved on to uploading these photographs and again giving it the concept site that I want it based on and the art direction skill, and then it went into that and built the final website. So this is what the final website looked like. As you can see, I've got it open in Acrobat here as a PDF, and as you can see, I've redesigned the logo and everything looks a lot more slick with a black background and white and yellow fonts. So as we go down, we've got the other services that they offer and private and domestic works, and everything looks nice and neat and uniform. We've got a nice big request a quotation button at the top. So this is what it would be like as a working website. So to actually design that logo, I've used my bolt system, and I've just written, here is the website and logo for this contractor in Bristol. I need you to run the bolt system to come up with some ideas for their logo to replace their rather bland one that doesn't seem to show their real story. I'm thinking we lean into their location as their story. And then the bolt systems are kicked off with, there's a stronger story here. This company is rooted in Bristol and the Southwest, but operates through disciplined heavy-duty civil engineering. The replacement should feel established, capable, and place-specific, not like a generic construction badge. So my recommendation is to build the identity around grounded in the West. So as we move down here, to cut a long story short, we sort of delve into the brand territory, the local family foundation. Then my bolt system came up with the proposed core keywords. So you've got rooted, proven with 45 years of experience, grounded, the physical work and the company's practical character, and then enduring, structures, relationships, and reputation built to last. So we've got our 4 keywords there, and I went into the symbolic exploration. So we start off with some ones to explore the word rooted and proven, then grounded, then enduring. And as you can see, I went on further into exploration. As you can see here, we've got some good ideas going for grounded, the steel structures, enduring. And then we came onto this mood board here, and this is where I got the idea of going 3D with the text. So we've got the letters here, which are converted into 3D. So I thought that would be a really good way to go. And as you can see, we've started exploring that 3D with some different variations of the text. So the reason obviously I've chosen 3D as the text instead of having a logo mark as such was because we can really represent the actual building structure and the groundwork of a building by having 3D text. I mean, obviously there's a correlation there between the brickwork and the 3D structure of the text. So then we moved on to the color palette, and the Abacus AI agent came up with this color card here, this brand color palette. And as you can see, we've got these different variations of the yellow, and moving on, we develop the actual logo itself. So I'll jump into Illustrator now and show you that process. So initially I just started exploring some fonts. As you can see here, I've got a few different variations of the letters, and I picked this one here. And as you can see, I've just basically stretched it out very slightly just to give it a bit more width. and I really like this correlation between the D and the P, and I did think of actually basing the whole logo off of that. So initially I got into using this 3D text here just by extruding it, by just basically going to effect and which one was it, 3D materials, extrude and bevel. But then I found there were some issues with that. I had to literally start retracing it, which wasn't working out so accurate. So in the end, I just took the text and went effects and went 3D materials, and I went 3D classic. So then what I did was ungroup and then hit ungroup again. And then I went to expand appearance, and that vectorized the whole logo. So I had it all in separate parts. So moving on, I ended up with this one as the final logo mark, which I thought looked good against the black. Initially I explored this stroke around the letters, but decided to remove that, and this was the final logo mark here. So the finished site, it looked like this, and I've brought the logo in, and it looked quite decent against the black. And then as you can see, it's a more cohesive looking site, a lot more interesting to the eye than the original grey, which was just the logo at the top and then text. And then we have the hero images here of the shuttering and the formwork, which is, I imagine, how this company makes most of its revenue as a commercial work as opposed to the domestic, but that's just a guess. And then as we go down the site, we can see we've got the more about section and the different services they offer, the retaining walls and the slabs and the water services, pipe work and the domestic work there at the bottom. So a relatively short walkthrough of this web design concept, and I'll be sending this to the client now just to see what they think, if they want this actually transformed into a working website.